All right, I'm back with chapter 5 of Lily to the Rescue, Two Little Piggies. Remember at the end of chapter 4, Mom was going to get Maggie Rose at school because she fell asleep. Chapter 5. Mom left and Dad finished feeding Scamper and Dash. We all played Chase Me until Mom came back again. She had my girl with her, Maggie Rose. I ran to my girl and greeted her with my tail wagging back and forth. I licked her knees and her hands when she reached down to scratch me. Mom and Dad seemed to think that Maggie Rose needed a lot of attention too. They fussed over her until they got her settled on the long, narrow bed where Dad sometimes lay down when we were doing work at night, feeding the pigs and playing Chase Me. But I'm not sick or anything, Maggie Rose said. I just got sleepy. Lie down there and close your eyes, Mom said. You're going to take a nice long nap, and no more overnights at the rescue for you. That's final. But who's going to help feed the pigs? Maggie Rose asked. She sounded worried. I jumped up onto the skinny bed with her and snuggled up against her so she'd know I'd always take care of her. Mom sighed. We'll figure it out. Right now, rest. Can I have my snack from school first? Maggie Rose asked. I'm hungry. Maggie Rose had put down her backpack next to the bed. Mom unzipped it and reached in and pulled out a crinkly bag and handed it to Maggie Rose. I sat up with my ears perked high. Crinkly bags are excellent for having treats in them. Sure enough, Maggie Rose began taking things out of the bag and putting them in her mouth. I sniffed but could not smell anything particularly delicious. Want a blueberry, Lily? Maggie Rose asked me. She held out her hand. There was a small dark fruit in her palm, but it did not interest me. The two pigs ran over to see what we were doing. They couldn't jump up on the couch like me, but they stretched their necks as high as they could. Their little snouts were twitching like mad. Hey, Mom, Maggie Rose asked, can I feed Scamper and Dash some blueberries? Mom and Dad glanced at each other. Sure, why not? Mom agreed. My girl held out fruits in each hand, one for Scamper and one for Dash. The pigs shoved their snouts right into her open palms and scarfed them up. Maggie Rose laughed. They love blueberries, she sang. Mom stood and walked over. Scamper and Dash were not doing sit because they were pigs and not dogs, but they were trying to do something like it with their eyes, staring up at my girl eagerly. Do you think I could have some of those blueberries? Mom asked. Maggie Rose handed over the crinkly bag that had been so disappointing to me. Mom went to the refrigerator and pulled out a bottle. The refrigerator at home has wonderful smells that charge out into the room every time the doors open, but the one here at work is much less interesting. I perked up when I caught the scent of what Mom was pouring into the bowl on the counter. It was some of that rich, fragrant milk that the pigs were always eating. Food in a bottle might be for Scamper and Dash, but food in a bowl was for a good dog. Scamper and Dash must have known this because they turned and headed out the door and down the hall, probably to jump on Brewster or knock over some furniture. I was disappointed to see Mom toss some of Maggie Rose's fruit into my bowl of milk. I decided, though, that I could lap up the milk and leave the little fruits. This is just one of the things dogs must learn to do. Maggie Rose, Mom said, can you hold on to Lily for just a moment? I heard my name and figured that Mom was telling my girl that I was finally about to be fed some of the delicious milk. Then Maggie Rose wrapped her arms around me, holding me on her lap. That was a strange thing to do because now I couldn't get at the bowl full of milk. Good dog, my girl said to me. Good dog? Good dog? What happened next was not the sort of thing that should happen to a good dog. Okay, Mom said. Scamper, Dash, come have some breakfast. My new pig friends had learned their names a little bit and came racing into the room, either because Mom had called them or because they just felt like it. That's how they did things. They were not like dogs who must pay attention to what people want. They were just crazy pigs who thought their job should be to run around and then have milk, even though a good dog doesn't get any. Mom put the big bowl down on the floor, and I naturally surged forward, but my girl's hands held me still. What were we doing? Scamper and Dash shoved their noses into my dog bowl. Milk went flying everywhere, and my pig friends started to eat my treat. What were they doing? The blueberries worked, Mom exclaimed. Dad was smiling. This could change our lives forever, he said with a laugh. No more bottle feeding around the clock. I did not understand why Mom and Dad seemed so happy when right in front of their eyes these pigs were taking my treat. They love blueberries, Maggie Rose said with a cheerful grin. I looked at her in dismay. She did not seem at all unhappy that these pigs were busily making sure that I would not get any milk from my bowl. Soon Scamper and Dash were done ruining my morning and took off running again. Maggie Rose released me and I went over and sniffed the bowl, licking up a few drops of milk that were splattered on the floor. It was as delicious as I had supposed. I mournfully examined the now clean bowl, smelling the remnants of some of Maggie Rose's fruits, as well as the faintest hint of my milk, all gone to the pigs. That night at dinner, I sprawled forlornly under the table, thinking about how wonderful it would have been to have my milk. Mom said both pigs' names, and I figured that was what the family was discussing, how Scamper and Dash had gobbled up my food by mistake, while Maggie Rose forgot to let go of me. I have that appointment up in the foothills tomorrow, Dad said. I'll take Maggie Rose and Lily with me. I raised my head at my name, but otherwise didn't react. There really was nothing surprising to me about the fact that everyone was sitting at the dinner table discussing what a good dog I am. From what you said about the ranch, it seems promising, Mom replied. Can I go? Brian asked. You boys both have soccer, Mom replied. Is it a pig ranch? Maggie Rose asked. No, Dad said, but it might work out for Scamper and Dash. The rancher wants their manure for his compost. Up in the hills, it's tough to get a good compost heap going because it's so dry. If they try to add food scraps, it'll just attract raccoons or other scavengers. What's compost? Maggie Rose asked. Oh, it's stuff like dead leaves or grass clippings and leftover food and animal manure, too, Dad replied. It'll become natural fertilizer if you let it rot in just the right way, so Scamper and Dash can help with that. He says he's got an electrified fenced-in pen that he can move each day for them. They'll do what pigs do, which is to churn the soil underneath their feet. Pigs love to wallow in mud, so it'll be good for everyone. At least that's what he claims. We'll have to see. And that's the end of chapter 5. Why did Mom put the blueberries in the milk for Scamper and Dash? Think about that question, and I'll be back with chapter 6.